Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is now changing his mind in regard to tax cuts for the wealthy. On various occasions, he made clear that during the process of tax reform, which we all know isn't really tax reform, it's just tax cuts, he would avoid allowing the rich to benefit from any tax cuts whatsoever. It was referred to as the Mnuchin rule, but he has since softened his tone in regard to the wealthiest earners, and now he has done a complete reversal. Now, before we get to his complete reversal, let's hear what he had to say back in November after the election in regard to these tax cuts.
Deductions we have in upper income taxes will be offset by less deductions so that there will be no absolute tax cut for the upper class. There will be a big tax cut for the middle class, but any tax cuts we have for the upper class will be offset by less deductions that pay for it. When we work with Congress and we go through this, it'll be very clear. This is a middle income tax cut.
So, if you are paying attention to the debates and any developments in regard to these tax plans that the GOP is rolling out, it's clear that there is a lot less emphasis on deductions, a lot of emphasis on a smaller amount of tax brackets, which would essentially cut taxes for the wealthy. Let's keep it real. And anytime there's any discussion about getting rid of deductions, it never has to do with corporate tax loopholes. Usually they focus primarily on possibly getting rid of the mortgage interest deduction that the middle class gets to enjoy. And so I knew he was lying there, but here is some evidence to show that I was right. Here is a statement that he made just recently.
What is the best way to go about convincing people that this is not a tax cut for the wealthy and corporations at the expense of middle-income Americans?
Well, let me just comment. The top 20% of the people pay 95% of the taxes. The top 10% of the people pay 81% of the taxes. So when you're cutting taxes across the board, it's very hard not to give tax cuts to the wealthy with tax cuts to the middle class. The math, just given how much you're collecting, is hard to do.
It's so hard not to give tax cuts to the rich. What could he do? He wanted to, but it's just a matter of math. Now, but wait a minute, you were the same Steve Mnuchin that back in November said, oh no, it's easy. We can just take away deductions from the rich. So even though their tax rate is going down, their overall amount of taxes will be the same because we're taking away the deductions that they use. Now, when you're actually going to implement the plan, you go, just kidding, not taking away the deductions, just giving them a giant tax cut instead. Now, what is the reality? He called it a middle income tax cut before. Today, Gary Cohn is still talking. He's the National Economic Council Director for Trump, said the wealthy are not getting a tax cut under our plan. Now, you want to know the reality? Tax Policy Center says that by 2027, the wealthiest 1% of Americans would get 80% of the benefits of these tax cuts. The top 1% gets 80% of the tax cuts. Well, there was nothing we could do. I mean, we wanted to give it to the middle class, so they just wouldn't take it. So what do we, oh gosh, I guess we're gonna give it to the rich, almost all of it. Oh, Steve Mnuchin, are you among the rich? Golly gee, there was nothing I could do. Gary Cohn, who used to run Goldman Sachs, are you part of the rich? I guess I'm in the top 1%. What a break. How about you, Trump? How about everyone in the cabinet? What a lucky break. They're gonna get 80% of the tax cuts. Look, they wanted to give it to the middle class. They just couldn't figure out how. By the way, I can tell you how. It's not that complicated. You can cut the payroll tax. The payroll tax is just for the middle class because once you get to a certain number, a little bit above $100,000, the rich stop paying the payroll tax. That's to fund Social Security and Medicare, right? You can cut the payroll tax. What do they do instead? They keep increasing the payroll tax because they're redistributing the money to the top. So if you're middle class, and by the way, recently Cohn and Mnuchin acknowledged, yeah, with the deductions we're taking away, middle class might have their taxes increased.
Of course, of course. Why would anyone think for even a second that they would look out for your best interest if you're part of the middle class or the working class? I mean, Trump is so open and honest. He's so transparent about his disdain for the middle class and for the poor. He himself said that he wouldn't want anyone who's poor working in his cabinet. He only wants wealthy people working in his cabinet. In the past, he said that golf should be reserved for the wealthy. It is a wealthy sport. Like, he has shown time and time again that he has utter disdain for people who are not wealthy. Why would he look out for you? He's a con artist, okay? He has conned the voters. And that's the thing that drives me crazy. He's working so aggressively to dismantle any and all protections that you have under the Affordable Care Act. Your premiums are gonna go up because of what Trump is currently doing right now and because of the uncertainty in the market. What he's doing right now with taxes, it's gonna hurt the middle class. And not only in the form of, how much they're gonna end up paying in taxes, but also in the services and the goods and services that they rely on. Those things are going to get cut.
And we talk about the middle class here and how their taxes are gonna go up and the rich's taxes are gonna go down because apparently there's nothing they could do about it. But also yesterday on the program, I talked about how they're gonna punish the poor. So earned income tax credit goes to poor and middle class, ranging from about 23,000 to 56,000 or so. And after that, you don't get any earned income tax credit. It's for the working poor. You can't get it if you're not working, okay? So what did the Republicans announce? They're gonna do a crackdown on people that they claim are committing fraud at the earned income tax credit. Most experts say actually most of it is honest mistakes. But even if you do the crackdown, it turns out, and this is what drives me crazy about the Democrats, it was already in a terrible situation. The IRS was committing 1/3 of all of their resources cracking down on people making less than $25,000 a year, which they got almost no return from because they paid, they're in such bad shape. What are you gonna get back from them? $5, $35 at most? And they leave the rich alone when the rich, just as a matter of percentages and raw numbers, when they commit fraud, and I'm not saying they're more fraudulent than any other part of the bracket, although I'd ask you to do a study on that. I'd be fascinated to see how it came out. You would get a lot more return back into the Treasury. And what did Trump and the Republicans announce? They said, we're not spending enough money cracking down on the poor. So they're gonna do a new round of crackdowns on people making less than $25,000. And if they strip the earned income tax credit away from them, taxes on the poor also go up. So tax on the poor, tax on the middle class go up, tax on the rich go down. There's nothing they could do about it. It's just math. That's what can they do? The poor guys, they tried. Well, it turns out they got to take money from you and put it into their own pockets. Help us build independent media. Become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.